What do we have to learn about leadership when power falls from grace? In the past few years, we've seen the downfall of influential figures across all industries. Today, we'll explore the deeper lessons about leadership development, the dangers of unchecked power, and how we can reconstruct leadership for a better future. My name is Beverly Barr, and I am the owner and founder of Raise the BARR Coaching and Consulting, and we are a premier leadership development company. Power can be both an amplifier and a magnifying glass. You see, it magnifies not just the positive qualities of a leader, but also their flaws. Let's look at a recent allegation of Sean Combs, which highlights a critical point that leadership isn't just about success, charisma, or the image projected to the world, but it's about character, integrity, and the impact on those we lead. The modern era has shown us how high-profile leaders can leverage power for influence, but what happens when this influence is wielded without accountability? This brings us to the pressing question. What happens when leaders use power as a tool for themselves rather than a responsibility to serve others? Charisma alone can be a dangerous trait. While it draws people in, it can inspire action. It often masks deeper issues when not coupled with integrity. The public often perceives success, influence, and charm as synonymous with effective leadership. However, history has shown that when leaders use charm without ethics, the results can be catastrophic. Why does society continue to fall for charismatic figures, only to be shocked when their power unravels due to misconduct? The answer lies in the culture we create and perpetuate. Leaders are shaped not just by their vision, but by the environment and people around them. When we see these downfalls, we must ask, what workplace conditions allowed these practices to continue? Reconstructing leaderships mean redefining the values we prioritize. You see, power should never be an excuse for exploitation, nor should influence be a shield from accountabilities. Leaders who act as if they are untouchable create a ripple effect, one that impacts their teams, organizations, and ultimately society. True leadership requires recognizing that leadership is about service, not self. Building systems where leaders are accountable to those they lead. Understanding and prioritizing the well-being of team members, and maintaining boundaries that align with moral and ethical codes. Developing these principles start at both the individual and the organizational levels. Leaders should regularly self-reflect and encourage feedback loops so that they can catch blind spots before they become systemic issues. It's crucial to remember that leadership structures have historically been dominated by power imbalances. So we must learn from recent history, from those who faced repercussions when their actions came to light. These lessons should have reminded all of us that power without checks breeds toxicity. Organizations that fail to put systems in place for accountability create environments ripe for misconduct. Without proper oversight, leaders become insulated, making it easier for harmful behaviors to thrive. The collapse of these figures isn't just a personal downfall, it's a cultural wake-up call. So how do we take these hard lessons and build leadership structures that inspire trust and resilience? Well, here's a framework. Establish clear avenues for communications for team members to voice concerns without fear of reprisal. Conduct regular audits and have anonymous feedback systems, and create a zero tolerance policy for misconduct. Encourage an environment where speaking up is rewarded and not punished. Leaders must act as role models who set the standards by exemplifying the principles they want to see. The recent stories of influential men facing public scrutiny for misconduct serve as reminders that power should be the end goal of leadership. Service should be. True leadership does not use their position to shield themselves from accountability, but rather to amplify the voices of those they lead. So to reconstruct leadership, we must shift from the pursuit of power for power's sake to a culture where power means responsibility. There's going to come a time real soon when we're going to ask ourselves some hard questions. Are we enabling leaders who act without consequence? Are we holding those at the top to the same standards as everyone else? And if so, why? You see, leadership is not about being revered or retribution. It's about being responsible. When we redefine what leadership means, we pave the way for a future where integrity isn't just an expectation, but it's the foundation. And as I close, let's take a moment to reflect on the leadership structures you're a part of, whether it's at work or in your community or beyond. What changes can you make to encourage accountability and build an ethical culture? Remember, change starts with action. Let's build leadership that empowers and uplifts, because in the end, that's the only legacy worth leaving.